My next guest's job description includes words such as motivate, inspire, rev up, focus, discipline, and perseverance. He used these tools to find his own way to success, and today he shares them with young people and their parents. As a coach, author, and founder of KB Power Mentoring, please welcome Kirk Berry to the counter. Kirk.
Happy to be here. Pleasure, Grover.
Same here. So you're a motivator, and you founded KB Power Mentoring. What led you there?
Well, yes, I am someone who travels the country speaking to youth and working with educators and coaches, trying to inspire our young people. And what led me there is that I used to be a kid who got detentions for talking too much. And when I finished college and you start working in the workforce, people tell you if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Right.
And I love to talk, but not just to hear myself talk, but to be able to inspire and empower our youth and those working with our youth.
And you grew up in Norristown?
Yes.
Your high school experience in football?
Yep, football, wrestling, and track, but it was football that allowed me to get a full Division I scholarship and play at the University of Buffalo, which I'm proud of. Go Bulls.
When did you turn around and say, I want to help kids. I want to help kids like when I was a kid?
I realized that it was something I wanted to do coming straight out of college. I had right away signed up to be a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters program. And so if anyone knows about Big Brothers Big Sisters, there's a long list of young men who are waiting to be matched, specifically with African-American males. And my mother always said that my brother and I were, quote unquote, still on the list because we never found a match.
Really?
So for me, I said, I want to help take someone off the list. I don't really believe I helped take someone off the list, but I agreed to volunteer and be a mentor. And that's what kicked off my mentoring young males and working with them.
How do you define the word mentor?
You invest time with a young person specifically over a long period of time. So it doesn't have to be 9 hours a day, but it could be 9 years of their life, and you can meet with them a few times a month. If you can be a constant in their life, you'll over time be able to impact them.
Right. And mentors, I suppose, also inspire. There must have been people in and around you throughout your childhood who served as inspiration.
My mother has always been a constant, not just because she's my mother, but she's always made sure she told me anything I wanted to do, I could do, but I actually had to do it. I couldn't just be interested in it. So if she heard me say I wanted to do something, she's like, all right, go do it, but don't do it halfway, don't half step. But also having coaches in my life were able to guide me and steer me towards whatever the particular sport was. And then also my pastor, Pastor Alan Waller from Enon Baptist Church, right in Philadelphia, Germantown area. I've been going there since I was a kid. So just having men in my life that were able to, at certain points, be able to have a constant communication with.
Your book, 5 Powerful Tips for Motivating Youth. Let's go through them.
Yes, so I first created the book as a solution. A lot of times as a motivational speaker, leaving an audience, or if people see my videos, someone says, how do you get the young people to listen? A lot of times they may listen with their eyes. And when their eyes aren't glued to you, or like the TV or the iPad or the iPhone, that means that they're not paying attention. And so I wrote this book, 5 Powerful Tips for Motivating Youth, as a way to connect, for adults to connect with young people. And so a lot of times people go, oh, that's a great book. I'm gonna get my young person to read it and they're gonna be motivated. And right away I say, no, there's no such thing that could just motivate someone instantly. These are 5 tips for an adult to read and connect with our young people. So tip 1, it starts with begin with dialogue. And it's so simple, it's extremely sophomoric, but a lot of times we think we're having a dialogue with a young person, but we're really having a monologue. And therefore they tune out. I think every parent has experienced that. Yeah, and so they tune out right away. And so through the book, I just walk through ways that once we have a dialogue with a young person, a lot of times people like to start off by asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the person is only 10 years old. And what if a young person doesn't know? That doesn't mean you get to right away say, well, you should do this, or you should do that, or you can make a lot of money if you did this. And what if we started having a conversation where we ask, what do you like? Then we ask another question.
Right, open-ended, so it's not a yes or no.
Exactly, or even sometimes open-ended, they still make it a yes or no. But it's really when you start showing that you care and we continue to ask questions where we open Pandora's box, we'll start to get them to open up, and they'll only do that if they see that we care. But if we begin with dialogue and ask questions where they get to lead the conversation, that's when we start motivating them. And so, as you say, go down the tips. Once we begin with dialogue, then we create discipline. A lot of times our young boys want to be basketball players. I never tell a young boy to get a plan B. I just tell him to shoot 100 jump shots, 100 foul shots, 100 layups, and run 100 suicides every day, 365 days.
Right.
And if he doesn't like that discipline, if he doesn't accept that challenge, he's telling me he doesn't want to go to the NBA as opposed to me telling him. So if you know a young person who loves to write and you find that out, in my book I share, go ask that young person if their school has a newspaper. And if they don't have a newspaper, challenge them, to write daily and create a discipline of improving their writing. And then in tip 3, turn that discipline of writing and go ask the school if they have a school newspaper. Because now if they don't have a school newspaper, you've built up the courage through your discipline of writing every day to go, you know what, I can go into the school and accept the challenge of starting a new club that they don't have. And after the challenge, if that person does a school paper and it's not well received, encourage them anyway to keep trying.
Right. Just don't blow it off and say, well, it didn't work.
Exactly. And then tip 5 is emphasize positive outcomes. And when we start doing those things, teachers do it, parents do it, coaches do it, the after-school program, as adults, when we start all having this type of conversation, empowering our young people, they won't be as discouraged to share what their dreams, goals, and aspirations are. Your guest that you had on earlier, who was talking about careers and switching, right? A lot of times when we're getting advice from parents and coaches and mentors about employment, right now we have to honestly say we don't know what the job will be for my daughter who's 7 years old right now.
Right.
So for me to tell her she shouldn't do something would be foolish. Like right now, I look at how many people are dog walkers. And probably 15 years ago, you probably couldn't make a living being a dog walker. But now if you love dogs, you can walk 6 at a time. But even if you're just a dog walker and it leads to nowhere else, you enjoy what you do every day. And happiness and enjoying what you do every day is more empowering and more motivating than going down a field or a path because someone told you, you can't do that. The best advice that I ever got was someone told me to make myself happy first, and I'll be able to help someone be happy or add to their happiness. So it's not just be happy about where I work or what I do, but make myself happy. So what I wear, what I decide to do with my time, where I decide to go, who I decide to spend my time with. Who wouldn't want to spend time with Grover, right? If I do what makes me happy first, when it comes alongside to helping and supporting others, because that's what we're really designed to do, it's easier to do that. So make yourself happy first. It sounds selfish, but when you do that, you'll be able to make others happy.
Hey, I'm going to leave it on that happy note.
Thank you so much, Grover. It was a pleasure.
Kirk, thanks so much. Kirk Berry, a motivated man who found success by motivating others.